It might help them having an easier time learning math, for example, than practicing good manners, which includes patience and being a team player. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dino, and before we start with today's subject, please make sure to check my social medias, my Instagram and Facebook at Dinos Music Lessons. Check my content here on YouTube. If you like, please make sure to subscribe, to share and like, and feel free to hit me up on all these social medias. I will follow back, and you can ask all questions that you may have. Today I want to talk about benefits of taking music lessons. There are plenty of benefits, but I will just mention few. I'm usually being asked from my parents, from my students, or parents that are potentially would have kids in music lessons with me. So I just want to say that learning to play an instrument can help your child actually fine-tune their ear and help them enhance skills needed for educational and social interactions. Keep this in mind. Your kid might not be the next Beethoven or next, famous pop star, but it might help them having an easier time learning math, for example, than practicing good manners, which includes patience and being a team player. I want to say that music and math are actually highly intertwined. By understanding beat, understanding rhythm, scales, children are actually able to divide, to create fractions, to recognize patterns. It seems that music actually wires our child's brain. That way it just helps them better understand other areas of math. That's just one of many experiments that was collected by all these professionals all around US and world. I'm not saying that every kid would have this, but they are saying that experiments are coming that majority of kids are actually are better in math after they are taking their lessons. So your kid will start reciting their songs, calling on their short-term memory, eventually their long-term memory. So using a mnemonic device to do this is a method that can later be applied to other memory skills, which was collected by Suzuki teachers all around the world. Musical instrument classes also introduces young children to basic physics. For instance, plucking the strings on a guitar or violin teaches children about harmonic, about sympathetic vibrations. For non-string instruments, such as drums or vibraphone, they can give kids, big opportunity to explore these scientific principles. Second thing is it develops their physical skills. So, certain instruments such as percussion that kids can take in their, music class or bands at their schools can help children actually develop coordination and motor skills. They require movement of the hand, arms, and feet. And as you can see, I have mower behind me, so this is now perfect. Might not only help develop all this in kids, but they can also encourage children to become comfortable in a naturally uncomfortable position. So enhancing coordination and perfecting timing can prepare children for other hobbies such as dance or any kind of sport. So it cultivates their social skills. As you know, I remember when I was a kid and my parents would always tell me, oh, he's a musician, he's able to talk with everybody. I'm able to at least keep that conversation while I'm surrounded by people that I don't know. So that's maybe one of benefits as well. For example, group classes require peer interaction and communication, which later encourage teamwork. As children must collaborate to create a crescendo or accelerando, which means speeding up, and crescendo means gradually, going louder. If a child is playing his instrument too loudly or speeding up too quickly, he'll just need to adjust. So it's important for children to know and understand their individual part in a larger ensemble. Next thing is refines their discipline and patience. So learning an instrument teaches kid about delayed gratification. The violin, for example, has a steep learning curve. For example, so before you can make any single sound on violin, you must first learn how to hold violin, how to hold the bow, how to where to place your feet, and stuff like that. Playing an instrument actually teaches kid to preserve through hours, months, and sometimes years of practice before they reach their specific goals, such as performing with a band or just very basic thing, memorizing a solo piece. Now I want to just mention while I'm talking about this, private lessons. So private lessons and practicing at home actually required a very focused kind of attention for even 10 minutes at a time. So I don't know if you watched my other videos, but I'm saying, if you are playing some longer songs, don't sit for 4 hours because your focus will not be there at 100%. Do smaller times, for example, 20 minutes. If kid is the beginner, then 10 minutes, like I just mentioned, will keep their focus on 100%. For example, group lessons in which students learn to play the same instrument in an ensemble also improves their patience, as children must wait their turn to play individually. Makes sense, right? And in waiting for their turn and listening to their classmate playing, kids learn to show their peers respect and to sit still, to be quiet for design period of time, or to be just attentive. Next thing that is exceptionally important is we are building and boosting their self-esteem. So lesson offer a forum where children can actually learn to accept and to give constructive criticism. So remember, if your kid, with teacher is practicing and they learn something that is having plenty of mistake, teacher will tell them, what, you're making mistakes right here, and kid will learn how to accept, and that way we are actually building their self-esteem. So turning negative feedback into a positive change will actually help them help build their self confidence. So group lessons in particular may help children understand that nobody, including themselves or their peers, is perfect. So there's no perfection, and that everyone has room for improvement. This is what we as teachers are actually teaching our kids in our private lessons, that there's no perfection of the song, that you'll be making mistakes, and that's fine because we are not perfect. I want to say that children will be introduced to other cultures as well while they're attending their private music lessons. By learning about and playing a variety of instruments, kids can discover how music play a critical role in other cultures. For instance, bongos or timbales are may introduce children to a African or Cuban styles of music. Versatile instruments such as violin or piano can accompany a wide repertoire of styles, and including classical and jazz, which was, as we already know, originated here in US on the South. Important to familiarize kids with other cultures at young age, because this foster open-mindedness about worlds and traditions behind the ones beyond the ones that they know. I want to mention this, so what to consider before kids select a instrument. So ultimately, that is very important, is instrument you and your child choose should depend on a number of factors. So I will just mention today, few on that list. So is your kid excited about playing that instrument that you want him to play? Do they like the way it sounds and feels? Because not every instrument sounds good in kids' opinion, so you have to take that into consideration as well. So is the instrument too challenging, or is it not challenging isn't enough? Because you need to keep in mind that every teacher, not every, but majority of teachers will try to challenge their students as much as possible, because that's the only way how they can progress and become better. Does your child's temperament match this instrument? Important thing is, can you afford that instrument? Because these instruments are not cheap if you want them to have something good. Can you afford maintenance on that instrument? Experts do not always agree on which instrument is the best for big kids to learn, but many teachers, us, are actually agree that it's hard to go wrong with the piano, with the percussion, with the recorder, with the guitar or violin. Let them start. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, please give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe down below. Check my social medias on Dinos Music Lessons. And then I will see you next time. Bye.